Tonight, the history of Bathurst captured on DVD. Some of our richest television history from the days when Prime was known as Midstate Television has been saved for future generations. Broadcast reels, which include the historic moments in Bathurst, have been launched on DVD for the first time. Western filmmaker Bruce Ryan brought to life Prime Television's acclaimed Around the Schools program. It ran from 1979 to 1986.
Tens of thousands of school children have participated, and the crew has travelled hundreds of thousands of kilometres to visit hundreds of different schools.
Definitely was the first, I think, in Australia, and it's certainly its popularity shows that it lasted for 17 years.
A few years back, Bruce decided it should last many more and set about compiling a community archive. He rescued the program's old tapes and in doing so developed a grander vision.
To see what was happening, say, in Bathurst or Cowra or Broken Hill.
The Bathurst Regional Council expressed an interest, and today 3 DVDs of its history were unveiled. The DVDs document the Olympic Bands Parade, the centenary of Federation and Bathurst's inaugural 24-hour event.
Bathurst is extremely heritage-minded and very aware of its history and its place in history. And I regard this as an extremely important project.
The DVDs will be kept at the Regional Library. With the help of local filmmakers, Bruce hopes to produce many more.
Would you rather live in the city or out here? No way, city? If I had my little house dogs out in the city, they'll be run over by now. You have a really good time up here, I reckon.
Cowra's Festival of the Lachlan Valley has a well-established tradition for fostering international understanding. Each year, the Festival Committee invites a guest nation to participate as a focal point in the celebrations and activities, thus promoting an interchange of culture and goodwill between the community of Cowra and the guest nation. In 1982, Brazil was the guest nation, and the major activities began with a flag-raising ceremony outside the Cowra Civic Centre. A very large crowd attended and saw the national flag for Brazil raised as the Cowra band played the national song. The ambassador of the Federative Republic of Brazil, Marcos Cortes, addressed the gathering and officially opened the festival.
It's something that is very close to the hearts of us Brazilians. You see, if you think in terms of our origins, the Brazilian people of today is basically the fruit of international understanding. The natives of Brazil were a nation unto themselves. The Portuguese, who arrived as conquerors, also were a nation. And the Africans, who were brought across the ocean as slaves, were a nation. Now, the three ingredients normally would promote strife, chaos, destruction, and so forth. Instead of that, They produce, apart from the natural shyness of Brazilians, beautiful music, a love to enjoy life, a spirit of tolerance, a love of other people. So nothing more appropriate for a Brazilian than to be part of a festival that wants to promote further international understanding.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We are already enjoying your friendship very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a very important part of the official opening of the festival is the flag unfurling ceremony, which is going to be performed by us, for us, by our Scout group. Greece, (1980) France, and 1981 China.
Following the flag raising, a grand procession of floats began down the main street of Cowra to the showground. Many of the floats had a Brazilian flavour in keeping with the theme of the festival. The prize for the best decorated float went to the Cowra Show Society. A real Brazilian flavour was added to the procession with the appearance of the Brazilian dance group. The award for the best float related to Brazil went to the Cowra Senior Citizens Group. Children took an active part in the parade, with many bikes being decorated for the occasion. Each festival princess was provided with a special float for the procession.
Cowra's Festival of the Lachlan Valley is now a well-established annual event. As you may know, its theme is centred on international understanding. We've covered the festival regularly in our Around the School series and have always found plenty to interest us, mainly because there's a different guest nation each year. The whole idea is for people to gain a better understanding of the guest country, its people, culture, arts, commerce and industry. Children and schools play an important part in many of the activities during the festival. As part of the build-up for this year's festival, let's look at some of the highlights from last year. Scouts, Guides and Cubs took part in the flag-raising ceremony. Shire President AJ Oliver welcomed a large crowd.
20th Festival, so we are celebrating a wonderful occasion today. I thank you all for your interest and support, and we look forward to a very happy week of friendship and happiness in the spirit of goodwill and understanding with our friends from the Philippines. Our festival is based on the theme of international goodwill and understanding with the participation of a guest nation each year. And we are very proud indeed to have representatives with us today from Japan, Malaysia, the USA, Indonesia, Germany, France, China, Sweden, the Philippines of course, and Spain. And we particularly welcome those people for their kindness, their thoughtfulness, their friendship.
Philippines Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Manico Vincenti, opened the festival.
I wish to congratulate all of you for having selected a leader, the Shrine President Mr. A.G. Oliver, whose outlook towards life is not only for the improvement of your town of Cowra, but to better international understanding.
Many business houses and community groups prepared floats for the grand procession along the main street. The procession was one of the highlights of the festival. At this carnival in one of Cowra's parks, many adults and children learnt quite a lot about dancing and games in the Philippines. These professional dancers gave an excellent insight into Asian dancing, costume and tradition. The troupe sometimes performs in schools as well. Many displays and exhibitions were open to the public during the festival. We visited some of the main ones. The Philippines Arts and Craft exhibition at the Civic Centre attracted many people. Ambassador Vincenti took time out to answer questions about the display by students from Cowra Public School.
This is a product of cottage industry. And young girls and housewives in the Philippines produce this. This is made out of the mother of pearl.
Some of the students spoke to us about their costumes.
Well, the shirt, it's made out. It's my mum's shirt, and the belt that I'm wearing is my father's dinner tie, and the hat was made out of cardboard. I'm a dancer from the provinces, and it's supposed to be a coconut dance, because the boys fought over the coconuts when they were supposed to get them.
Can you show me how they played the coconuts in this dance?
Okay, they just went like that, and then they just did it to each other.
Jeepneys, want to know something about them? Yeah. Yeah, well, jeepneys are used in the Philippines as taxis, and lots of people can fit in them at a time, and they're very popular for travelling.
Cowra High's drama group prepared a lunch hour theatre presentation for the festival.
Goodbye. You haven't seen anything yet?
I'm speaking with Julie Perkins, one of the members of the cast. Julie, could you tell me why you are doing this playing?
Well, for the last couple of years, Cowra High School have been participating with the Lachlan Valley Festival, and this year the Cowra High Drama Club are presenting a play for the lunchtime theatre.
And could you tell me the story of the play?
Well, there's 3 young ladies, and they're all very nasty, and they've all got the same boyfriend, and I've just heard there's a 4th member involved, and she's engaged to be married to him, so we're all out to seek revenge and shave off his moustache.
P&C groups and service organisations set up food and novelty stores based on themes from the Philippines. This judo exhibition was presented by the Cowra Youth Club. Cowra JC's organised a painting competition for toddlers.
A record of 238 entries were received for the 14th annual Lachlan Downriver Canoe Classic, held as a culmination of festival activities. The 40-kilometre course began at Darby's Falls Bridge and continued down to the Cowra Bridge. 26 New South Wales clubs, 2 from the ACT and 2 from Victoria, were represented. The former course record time of 2 hours, 8 minutes and 23 seconds, set by Olympian John Southwood in 1979, was broken by 2 members of the Footscray Club of Victoria. Rob Beerham and David McMenem with a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes and 39 seconds.
And the ambassador of the guest nation each year then plants a tree in honour of their country, and that international avenue of trees now creates a lot of interest, not only for our own people but for people from the embassies who are passing through Cowra from time to time, usually called to see their tree and to pay their respects to our council.
Before I turn the first spadeful of earth, may I say as a kind of spontaneous little poem dedicated to those involved with the Lachlan Valley Festival. Blessed are those who plant a tree, not knowing for sure if they will live long enough to enjoy its shade, but doing it for others. Thank you very much.
Depend on me. Depend on us. Depends on you. For our love. For our love. Oh yeah. For our love. Oh yeah. For our love. Oh yeah. For our love.
Hi, I'm Louise. I'm Michelle. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Rowena. How about you come with us now and we'll show you a bit about peace.
For those who thought that peace could only be brought about by protest and politics, the message is becoming clear that peace is the responsibility of every person. Peace begins when you make your home and workplace a happier place to be in. It begins when you feel peaceful, when you take time to consider others' points of view, when you smile at a stranger, when you patch up a strained relationship. Peace will begin for you when you spend a few minutes viewing this video and developing your own positive thoughts about peace.
This video was produced to bring to you some of the activities in Western New South Wales which reflect people's feelings and attitudes towards peace. These are real people and events. They're presented with the aim of sharing the idea and experience with you so you can widen your understanding of peace and know why so many people participated in this special year.
Throughout the program we'll be showing you the viewpoints expressed by the range of children and adults on the peace issue. Settle back now and come with us on a peace journey throughout the west of New South Wales to see some of the activities that have been developed.
Cowra is a centre noted for developing ties with other countries in its annual Festival of the Lachlan Valley. The festival develops the theme of international understanding and features a different guest nation each year.
It is, of course, a gesture of considerable goodwill and brotherhood that Australia, a sister member of the Commonwealth, should have, through the medium of your community, asked us to be the guest nation in 1986. It is impressive, I think, that a town with a population in the order of 10,000 or so should be able to mount a festival of this size every year with the theme of international understanding. It will be a great privilege for us Canadians to participate this week, to be here today in the Avenue of Flags near this auditorium, to plant a maple tree later on in Brome Park to survive as a permanent reminder of the association between our two countries.
And you've been involved with Cowra's Festival of the Lachlan Valley virtually since its inception. How successful has it been in promoting the concept of international understanding?
Well, I think it's made a big step as far as Cowra is concerned. It's quite a unique concept, the concept of having a guest nation each year, and to join with them in a week of cultural activity where we feature their art and their music and their culture to our children especially. Each year these children of the Cowra schools plan or draw their idea of life in the guest country And likewise, the children in those countries send back their idea of life in Australia. And these exchanges have led to pen friends with the children in countries which have continued for quite some time. And I'm sure that the children have had a great deal of pleasure in exchanging those programs. Likewise, we have people from the embassies in Canberra come and spend a few days in Cowra in the week before the festival, telling the students about their country and talking to them about their industry and commerce and trade, and also about the geography of their countries and their culture. And the children in this way become very well acquainted with the guest nation. And during the week of festival itself, we have speakers come to speak to the service clubs and various community organisations during the week, and the ambassador usually comes on at least 2 occasions to join with the local community in the festival princess crowning ceremony and at the official opening. The official opening is quite spectacular because at the opening we have the scouts and the guides and any exchange students that may be in our area come along and raise the flag of all the guest nations, so that last year we had 21 flags being raised in Cowra at the official opening, which is a very impressive occasion. And those flags remain on display during the week, and they're taken down each evening by the scouts and flown again next morning, so that our people in Cowra are reminded of their former association with so many guest nations. And also following the official opening, we have an avenue of international trees in our park, and the ambassador of the guest nation each year then plants a tree in honour of their country, and that international avenue of trees now creates a lot of interest, not only for our own people but for people from the embassies who are passing through Cowra from time to time, usually called to see their tree and to pay their respects to our council.
Before I turn the first spadeful of earth, may I say as a kind of spontaneous little poem dedicated to those involved with the Lachlan Valley Festival. Blessed are those who plant a tree, not knowing for sure if they will live long enough to enjoy its shade, but doing it for others. Thank you very much.
It's how you play the game.
Peace means thinking of other people first and being considerate. I had a fight with my friend, and they came around this morning, and I said sorry to them, and they said sorry to me, and we made friends again.
Peace means to be kind to other people. Peace belongs to everyone in the world, and Jesus and God made peace, and Jesus and God loves the way peace goes along.